Hello, hello, and welcome to Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet. I'm Amy Higgs. It's so good to see you guys today. I hope everyone is doing well. We are streaming on an off day in case this catches you unaware. If everybody could just take a second and go out, whatever you need to do, but share it to your personal page or to whatever groups that you belong to that you can share things into. It's an off day because something came up yesterday that I had to do yesterday, or they could not do it this week, and it had to be done by Saturday. So it was something I can't tell you about yet, other than to say we have a big thing going on around here. And this was something I couldn't afford not to do. So I wanted to say thank you to Jean for moving to tonight to talk about Team USA, so we can fill you in on that virtual event and what you're getting for the cost of the ticket and what it is to raise money for. It's a great cause. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jean's going to join us. We're going to talk about the event, Team USA. I'll show you the piece that I'm doing. But just share our post. I did send out a text, but I can't tell if everyone got the text yet, because I didn't get the text yet. So I don't even know if and I sent it like 5 minutes ago. I know Nadine got it in Canada, but I don't know if everyone else has received it. So if you don't mind, just take a minute, give a shout out to your friends, see if anybody else wants to join us, and let's put some hellos up here. I'm so glad to see so many of you today. So Debbie is here with us from Pennsylvania. Hey, Debbie. Sweet Sally from Florida is here. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. We've got Kathy here with us today. Becky's here from Texas. Holly is here somewhere, but I don't see a comment. So maybe she's watching. Oh, yeah, I see her on my personal page. Okay. And that was another thing. It kicked me off all the Facebook things, so I had to go reconnect to all of the Facebook stuff. That was really odd. That hasn't happened in 3 years, so that was weird. Hey, Camille, how are you? Sean, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Sally is here. Sally, that Dalmatian puppy Star, oh my goodness, just ship her to my house, bring her to my house, come for a visit. But seriously, Prince and Star look like they've been together forever. So I hope things are going well at your house with the new puppies. Hey, Sabra, how are you? Oh, I just got my text. So we might have a few more people join us now, because we send that text to almost 500 people. We're almost to the max number that I can have on that text alert system. So maybe we'll have a few more jump on in the next couple minutes. Let's see. Sally. Yes. Hey, Sabra. Holly. Oh, good. Holly got her text, so that's good. So maybe it was just like furthest out and working back to me. To Kathy got it too. Okay, good. And Debbie, you got yours. Oh, you got yours early. I just got mine at 12:07. I think the bigger, is that Elisa? The bigger the text group gets, it seems to go out in waves and not all at one time, I think is what's actually happened. Hey, April, how are you doing? How's Saoirse? Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, Elisa, hello. So that must not be you that said you got it in Maryland. That must be somebody else, unless you went back out and gave it permission. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Christina, how are you? Teresa from Arizona. Oh, gosh, everyone's watching from all over today. I don't know about you guys. Oh, good, Camille. Okay, good. And Becky just got hers. Okay. 3 little ones graduating from kindergarten, 1 from, that's amazing. Well, I'm glad you're making cookies for all the kids, because I know they love your cookies. Whoopi's here. Hey, hey, how are you? Jessica, it's good to see you today. I hope you're doing well. Maryland is in the house. Hey, Darlene. Lavelle, it's good to see you. How are you? Lavelle, are you a member of Cookie Cutter Collector Club? If you are, can you send me a private message? Puppy? Yes, you heard the word puppy. So Sally got a Dalmatian puppy. So Prince will have a cohort in crime, and she's so sweet, and Prince deserves a star. So I think she's absolutely perfect. I know you're in Maryland. That's why I thought maybe it was you. So who's the other Maryland person watching? gloves. Hey, thank you. I knew what you meant. Oh, good, Jessica, you got yours a little early too. Okay, well, we've had everything funnels through to my StreamYard, so I see the total of all the places we're streaming to. So we're almost up to our normal number. Hey, let's see. Creative Cookies and Pops, how are you doing? By the way, did you guys have the best time? Oh, good. Yes, my girls are doing great right now. Oh, Brian graduated. Becky, did you make him something special? Let's see. Okay, well, there's a Lavelle. You're in New Orleans, right? I'm pretty sure you live in New Orleans. That's why I thought of you for that. But send me a message, okay? And you just got your text. Okay, well, we've got a few more people jumping on. So this morning, what we're going to do, circle back. Sorry. Okay, so I do message me so that I don't forget, because I wanted to ask you something and tell you about something. Oh, Debbie says she's from Maryland. Okay, cool. All right, so who enjoyed the Frosting Creators of San Antonio event this weekend? Because there were several cookie snack attackers presenting in that event, and you guys, everyone rocked it. The event was amazing. It's free. It was amazing. It was just great. There was tons of information in there. It was like old school demoing. Like, I did a full tutorial, but what I loved, and I've missed it since COVID started, is there was just one demo after another of like how to use a product. And there seemed to be lots of wafer paper demos and stuff like that. It was just cool, you guys. It was really good. I don't know if you can still get into it since the event is past, because it only stays up for 10 months, but man, it was amazing. Oh, he's into Spider-Man right now. That's cool. Very cool. Yeah, it was really neat. I had a great time with it. Did you like mine? I was specifically tasked with something that I thought was going to be impossible, but I pulled it out. I don't really, other than God, I don't know how I did it, but I was asked for something. How did they say it? I want to try to get the wording as close. It was a couple people that were like, yeah, we really love all your stuff, but sometimes it's too much to do, so we don't try the project. So we'd really like something fancy that looks intricate, but fast and easy. Now look, fancy and intricate and fast and easy are not normally words that go together in the cookie world. Like, it's this hand or it's this hand. It's generally not both. But I do think that I did a reasonable job of pulling together fancy and intricate and fast and easy, because we did 8, I'm going to call them small size dresses because they were too big to be minis, but they're much smaller than the size I normally do. But I was able to pull together 8 really cool dresses for you that I believed looked fancy and intricate, but getting 8 done in an hour in a tutorial while speaking clear English was a little bit of a challenge, but I think I pulled it off. So if you can still get in that group, it's Frosting Creators of San Antonio. It's a free group. This is their 3rd virtual online event. So I was trying to remember the other ones that I've done for them. So I think the first one I did was Take to the Skies, and that was my wafer paper balloon, my 3D one that had the little sunflower field. And then I don't remember what I did last year. But this was the 3rd one. And this year I did the dresses, and I kind of was on that dress kick because I had seen that a lady from overseas had done a really cool demo, not a demo, but had a reel on Instagram where she used the little dollhouse rack and did a baby shower display. And I thought it was gorgeous. So I've been waiting to use that because at Christmas time, holiday cookie-a-thon with Nancy Westfall, I did Santa's laundry line. And I did that because I wanted to do that all in gingerbread. So I made my own clothesline, and then I was dying to use this. And then I had those cutters set aside, and everything just came together. And I'll tell you, holiday cookie-a-thon for Nancy Westfall, Mrs. Claus is making an appearance this year. So I hope you guys will be signing up for that when it's time under my affiliate link to help support the live streaming, because anything I make through Nancy's event, because we have a commission link, Any of that just goes to help pay to either upgrade equipment or pay for the bills for the live streaming. And I know everybody thinks, oh, you just jump on Facebook and it's free. But by the time you add in StreamYard and you add in your ManyCam and you add in the extra programs you need and you add in the text alert system and you add in the time that you're carving out for this, it's not free. There's no free lunch. It just does not work that way. So I just try to collect a little bit here and there throughout the year to take care of it. So frosting creators, love you guys. Love you, Melinda. I haven't finished watching the video. So does anybody know if I won any prizes? Anyone? Seriously? Because I watched like the first 10 minutes of it, but then I had to jump off to go on here because it was live last night. But we were working hard last night. Oh yeah, Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel was last year, Becky. So the first year I did that 3D balloon, then I did the Ferris wheel, and then the comments from a few friends, Cookie Snack Attackers this year, they were saying like, we want this fancy and intricate, but the other ones we didn't actually do them because they were too hard for us, but then we needed to be fast and easy because we cookie for profit. So hopefully I did win something. What did I win, Becky? Please tell me. I won 2 gifts. Yay! I'm so happy. I love winning stuff. I know nothing's free anymore, but I do my best to just take a little here and there to cover it throughout the year. But seriously, the thing I've been working on that I can't fully disclose to you yet will involve yet another internet upgrade, which will make the streaming speed better. But as soon as I do that, I'm going to have to immediately come in there and upgrade computer, because then my weakest or my lowest thing in the totem pole that'll be cut off, like the thing that'll be the weakest after I do this next thing, will be my computer. So I have to just kind of bite the bullet at this point, and I've got to buy a computer that's dedicated to just the live streaming and a bigger screen and speed this stuff up so that I don't have any glitches. So that's what we're working on. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Oh, cool. Well, I better check on that if I only won a month, huh? Who won the thing I donated? I donated a class. Does anybody know who won the class? Oh, I wish I had been with you guys because I was sweating like crazy with what I was working on. I was so hot. I was downing water. It was crazy last night. Yeah, the first ones I saw, Becky, those looked crazy good. I only got through like 10. But I'm excited about that. That's so much fun. All right. So as soon as I'm video documenting so that you won't feel left out when I can finally tell you what I want to tell you. I have a video. I'm building up a video document of it, and we'll speed it up when I finally get to tell you what it is. Okay. So excited. So let me show you this. This was one other thing I was asked for. Then we're going to jump into our brush embroidery video. If you were in the frosting, Heather, no way. How are you, lady? I hope you are doing well. Heather, the thing that I told you I was sending you did not go out yet, but it will go this week. We just had a little hitch in the giddy up last week, and I did not get to the post office, but it will be on the way. Okay. So someone else asked me, because the schedule's been a little bit different this year, just because I have things going on at home that are top priority right now, which, by the way, are shaking out real nicely. Hey, from Dallas. They asked me how many Cookie Snack Attack Cookie Education System skill building card sets there actually are. So I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm not going to show you anybody that paid for any of the paid classes. I'm not going to do this so long on screen that people can copy it, so you're not losing any value. I just want to quickly show titles so that you know you're caught up, that you have everything. Okay. Hey, I am so glad you did jump on. Deborah, how in the world are you? Okay, so if you were in the Frosting Creators of San Antonio event, if you go to my coffee shop site, okay, I put a packet of cards. Let me see if I can find the link. do I have? Oh, here we go. It'll scroll at the bottom of the screen, but it won't be a live link. You'll have to type it in. But if you go over to my coffee shop site, it's ko-fi.com/seriously sweet. If you go there, the reason I use that is because 100% of that money comes back to me as an artist. They don't take a fee. They don't take a third. They don't take 25%. I pay a flat fee to be a gold member for the year, which I include in my live streaming expenses. And then I get 100% of that back. I've also recently used that to do some straight one-on-one teaching with people online. Like they've basically put in a bid and said, hey, I'm willing to pay you $100 for an hour and I need to learn this. Can we do, first of all, is that enough? Can we do this in an hour? And is this something you feel like you can share with me and teach me in a Zoom? Like if it's something you feel like I need hands-on, we'll wait and do it another time. But if you feel like we can get all this information across in a Zoom. So I've used it that way to generate a little bit of income to come to the live streams. And then you can also like bid for commission pieces if you want me to teach something specific to a smaller group, or maybe you want to have a group, you want to pull a group together and then you just send in like, okay, I'm going to have 5 people here. We want you to teach us this. 250 sound okay? Like we're doing stuff like that. So I'm trying to build that little part up for myself since I'm working from home so much now. But on the site, the reason I brought it up is because if you were in Frosting Creators of San Antonio, then I created a $35 value card pack for you that you can download for free until the number of downloads run out. It's over on the coffee shop site and it's a set of 9 cards. It's the cover card and then 1 card for each of the dresses. And that goes along with this. This is what I do each year. So in our gnome class, if you signed up for that year-long gnome class, which you can still get in on if you want to, we already pre-recorded is January through May, and then June will release next week. So there are cards that look like this. So I'm just going to show you the tops. So it's 2023-01, which means January, 01, which is first day of the month. It's a class. It was the January Snowy Gnome and Frosty Floral. Then in February, hold on. In February, there was 2023-02-01 class, February Valentine Gnome. So just this stack, it's a pretty good stack of cards. Just this stack is the gnomes so far for this year. So at the end of the year, if you're in that group, you're going to have 12 sets of cards for just your gnomes. And then if you're noticing this, I also print out my supply list, fold them in third, trim them to be the right length, and I keep my supply list with my cards. So gnomes and florals set, there's going to be 12 total, but we're up to 5. You'll get another one on the first. You'll get the 6th one on the first. Then classes look like this. The header of my sets look like this. It's the year, the month, the day. It was a class, and the title was Bebox and Daisies. There's always a cover card like that that shows you how many cards total and then what was in it. So for classes, we've had Bebox and Daisy. We had Oh Honey Honey. And we've had the Mother's Day floral market sign. So we've had 3 paid classes so far this year. And our 4th one will be in June. And it will be the seed packet class I told you guys about. Now for virtual events, I always give them for free in the virtual events. So the all access pass holders also got a set from Cookie-a-thon. They got the Bee Skep and Daisy's 3D shaker cookie and also the bonus card for the Easter basket, which was that video was only available for access card holders, access pass holders. And then recently the virtual event for Frosting Creators, Pearls and Lace Closet. So there is a huge stack of class cards already. I mean, you guys can see this, right? We've got a ton of information out there for you already. You'll have 12 if you did the gnome class. Now, there's something missing from here, though, because I have to edit them. I found a couple errors, so I haven't put them in the group yet. But if you took add-on classes from me at Ohio Cookie Con and you were in Be the Sparkle, there will be a complete set of cards for Be the Sparkle in that class group. And if you took XOXO in Ohio, there will be a complete set of cards for XOXO. So that's everything I've put out so far this year. Hopefully that'll be a good checklist for you. If you are signing up tonight for classes in Florida, Be the Sparkle seemed to be the one that people were trying to get into early in the morning. And then I had some people say, oh, I wish you had it in the afternoon too, because I really wanted to do that because of the dress and the butterflies. But in Ohio, I only taught one morning class, one afternoon class. And so I taught 2 different classes. So in Florida, I heard you. I'm going to teach Be the Sparkle twice. On Wednesday, it'll be in the AM from 10 to 2. And it'll be in the PM from 4 to 8. So you can get into either slot, but I'm only teaching Be the Sparkle as an add-on. And that is this set of cookies. So we'll have that as add-on. And I'm going to be in one of the hospitality suites to teach. So we'll have our own classroom, no competing noises, anything like that. We'll be doing this class. And if you're signing up tonight, I would love to have you. There's a ton of techniques in here. If you're new to cooking, I think I got a lot of comments back that I broke this down really well for people to understand, not only to be able to do it during class, but for future use. So they were really happy about how that went down. That was the reviews I got back directly from students. So I think we can do the same thing again in Florida, and I hope you guys will really enjoy it. I'm excited about having one of the hospitality suites to teach in. That's going to be a lot of fun, I think. And then don't forget, if you haven't had a chance to play with the the moldable royal icing, my elective class on Saturday, I have classes starting at 8 in the morning. So 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I take a lunch break, and then I teach again at 1 and 2. 16 people can get in each of those elective classes for free. It's all royal. We're going to do that cool cherry blossom. Now, I probably don't need to tell my regular people this, but for anyone that's new that's watching, I love all the extra. So you get a ton of swag with my Be the Sparkle class. Like, you took home everything that you used in class except the scissors and your X-Acto knife, I think. And I might have even let you take the X-Acto knives, but you left with the full set of cutters. There's access. There was labels on the top of the boxes for you to join a free Facebook group that's just for Be the Sparkle people, where I've been putting in an extra cookie recipe, and the cards will be there shortly. So I love all the things. So all the extras in there for you guys, and I'd love to have you in class. And in the elective, you took home everything. You took home your extra royal. We go through consistency. You take home your little silicone mold. Like, everything went home with you for that too. And that worked out great. I think all the classes were so much smoother this time. They were just fast in, fast out. And I think everybody really liked everything. So if you have not gotten your Frosting Creators of San Antonio cards yet, they are on the coffee shop site, which is still at the bottom there. I'm going to take that off now and switch to something else. If you want to make a donation, all donations are accepted. It's going to go straight back to the live streaming and for Tutorial Tuesday. If not, and you just want to grab them because you want to see what they're like for seeing if you want them in the future, that's okay too. But if you want to kick in any donations, they're absolutely always accepted, but the cards are set up there for you to grab them for free. Okay. All right. Now let's go up here real quick and see. Hey, oh, Cindy's here too. Cindy Heather is either here or just checked in and buzzed out. And Allison is running errands, so she's missing today. Hey, Liz, how are you? Can't wait. Oh, I know. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited to see you guys. Now, quickly, for people that are on, I know. Wouldn't that be neat? But don't worry, darling, because I mean, I can't handle all of CookieCon, obviously, but I am going to have a summertime online retreat just to keep us in the vein of the online pieces as well. Hey, Miss Pamela. All right. The other thing I wanted to tell you was I need some feedback really quickly over in the comments. Those of you who are watching, hey, sister. She says, hey, sister from Louisiana. Let's see what this says. Okay, so I would love to have Be the Sparkle as a paid class, but it would have to be the same price as it were if I did it at CookieCon, because otherwise it wouldn't be fair. But I think I could do that. And if I did all the swag with it, I think then it would be justified, but I would need to do it as a Zoom class because you really need it. It's a pretty, I don't want to say intense, but it's a lot of steps in the class. So you really need to be able to communicate with me. It's not like a normal class where we do it in the Facebook private group and then you ask questions after. It's really a class where you need to be able to ask questions during. So I would need to be able to do it as a Zoom, and to do that, everybody would need to agree that, we know we're going to be recorded. Hey, Sheila, how are you? She was one of my classroom mates at CookieCon in the elective in Ohio. She and Jen and I shared a classroom, and they're just dreams. I love both those ladies. They're so nice. Okay. All right, good. So $235 is what the class is costing because I underestimated the expenses just a smidge last time. I had to go up $10 for Florida, but then we'll be covered. And that way we could keep the class to 16 students. I didn't need to go up to 20 so you can get more attention. I know I love the Zoom classes too. I miss it. I actually miss it. I'm so excited. Well, maybe we'll be, I don't know. I think I heard that we get I'm pretty sure, I don't want to speak and this not be right, but I'm pretty sure we all get our own classrooms for electives in Florida too. It's a different setup there. So I'm kind of psyched about that. XO is not going to be available in Florida. We're doing Be the Sparkle twice. And then you guys, so that's everything on that front because signups are tonight. So tonight, we're going to jump on with Jean at 7 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about Team USA, and then we're going to get off tonight. It's not a tutorial. It's just so you understand what Team USA is, what the money is being raised for, where the link is, what I'm teaching, what Jean's teaching. And then I'm trying to copy the pictures from the listing so that I can show you what everybody else is doing tonight. So I can show you tonight what everybody else is doing in the Team USA event, which is July 10th and 11th. Okay. But it is a paid event, but I want you to see what they're doing because it's absolutely worth the $40. And the $40 is 100% fundraiser to send them to. Two of the ladies will go to Milan to compete and represent the United States. So it's totally worth it. 100% behind it. And I'm really excited about it, especially for them. It's a great opportunity. Okay, but we're going to jump on. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get off. So tonight, try to keep it really focused. Help me stay focused so we can talk to Jean and we can get off because tonight is the sign up for CookieCon for add-ons and electives, okay? All right, so I did the review of the cards. We talked about what's going to happen tonight. I told you the next paid class is going to release soon so you can gather supplies, but I tried to keep it to things that we've used in the last couple of months. So there shouldn't be a big supply expense at all this time. And we're doing a large cookie, like a 5x7 cookie like this is what we're going to be doing. So it should go really well. Okay. Now, I think that's my checklist for what everybody asked me to cover. If there's something else, drop it in the comments. And if the brush embroidery part we're doing right now doesn't go too long rather, then we'll come back and answer more questions. If not, I'll hit them tonight right before Jean comes on. Okay. Now, and Cindy needs prayers for her puppy. He's in surgery for kidney stones. And wait, I picked up my grandkids and dog from Maryland yesterday. So not your dog, Cindy, but your grand dog is in surgery for kidney stones and you're taking care of him. Oh, that's fabulous. So you get the kids for the summer or a week, or how long's that going? Because that's going to be a lot of fun. Around here, everybody's starting to get their grandkids and keep them for a week or two. So everyone's having lots of fun. All right. Now, this is thick white icing. That's what I'm going to use for the demo because I got a lot of questions after I did the last dress. I think it was dress 8 in Frosting Creators. I got received questions, excuse my grammar. I received questions about like brush embroidery. I was doing it different. They've seen other people doing it different. They do it the way I do it, but then they saw somebody else do it differently. I just want to say this about that. Please just try to remember that there's no one right or wrong way really to do anything in the cookie world. I mean, and also try to remember that half the time these things are all techniques that have come from somewhere else anyway, right? So they came from the cake universe, maybe a pastry school, like they could have come from all over the place. So don't limit yourself. Just try to learn what you can from each person that's demoing and go in that direction. Now, I'm working upside down because in brush embroidery, you grab the icing and you pull it towards you. I have an extra paper towel. I have my little tiny shot glass from one of our retreats. This is a mini that I keep water in. I have some thick white icing. And I'm going to show you a couple of different brushes and a couple of, I don't want to say they're not different ways to do brush embroidery because the technique in and of itself is basically the same, but it's ways you can make it look different. So I'm just going to start here and we're going to demo till we run out of room or time. And we'll stop right at 1 o'clock so that we keep the video to the 1 hour. Okay. Now I have this brush, which is really nice. It's a stiff 1/4 inch. It's very thin when it's on its side, but it's a 1/4 inch wide and it's a stiff. Okay. Then I have my round Wilton, which is also stiff. But if you guys watch all the time, you know this is the one that when I get a new one of these, I rough it up. Like I beat this thing up so that it gets the frizzle on the edge of the brush. Do you see that? Can you guys see that on camera? And I love that. I just really like that a lot. And then this is a round, it's rounded, okay, on the end, you see, but it's super soft, okay? Now, you could also get down to where maybe you want to do this in maybe you want to do it in a class box or in an in-person class kit or something, and you just want to use disposables. This brush also works really, really well because it's stiff, stiff bristles, so it gives you good lines. However, it takes a lot more work than, say, using this brush, right? Because this brush is like 4 times the width of this one. So you have to do more work, physical work with this one, but it's painting with icing. So how much work is it really? Okay, so first let's do this. So this is thick icing. Can you guys see okay? I've got all the lights on in the studio today. I totally am. Oh, it's so hard not to spill the beans on what we're working on. I cannot wait to tell you. All right, so I'm going to come straight across, okay? Because I want you to see the difference in straight across versus doing scallops. So I'm going to dip this wide brush in water. And then a lot of people immediately do this. I don't do that, okay? I put it in the water because I just want to make sure all the bristles are wet. And then I lay it on the paper towel. And did you see how the water just sucked out of it? It's how we used to feed our lizards in science class. We ran paper towels from the water bowl up the side of the glass fish tank and then down into the tank that we kept them in because the water ran up the paper towel. Do you see that? So it's still damp. And then I flip it over and I go to work. So I like to grab that icing without breaking the outside bead and pull towards me. And these stiff brushes are great because it gives me, see how close we can get with, do you see how I have those great lines? So I just need the dampness, but I don't want it to be wet because I want to be able to manipulate the icing, but then I don't want it to fall onto itself when I pull the brush away, right? So you can see there's a little bit of water there, but it's not making the icing fall into itself. And then if you want to, you can go back. But I really like to have that. I like to have that outside bead for this reason. This is why I like that. Now I'm demoing straight across. I don't normally do straight across. I normally do scallop. So then I start just right where the icing starts to get a little thin. I like to put a line down. Now also, guys, right now I'm demoing this with the tip cut to be about a 1.5 piping tip if you want to make it equivalent. The next row I'm going to do, I'm going to go up to like a 2. So I'm just going to take another little sliver off my bag, make it a little bit wider so you can see the difference that causes. But if you're going to do a whole row of ripples, now, why would you ever do a straight line? Because if you want to just play with a short wave instead of a perfect scallop like you do on a dress, brush embroidery is beautiful to make waves on beach cookies, and we're coming into summer season, so I thought it was worth showing you this part. Okay, so here we go. Back into the icing. Now I'm just going to pull it. This is not a thing that's supposed to take all day, okay? Now I'm really zoomed in here because I want you to see the lines. But do you see what I mean? Like, let's do this next so you understand. So on your beach cookies, you know how you have the white frosting on the top of the waves as they come in? So if I just wanted to do a line like this, this is the brush that I would use. This brush, okay? This is the brush I would use to do my beach waves. And I'd leave that cap on it because that foam cap, it looks just like a foam cap coming in off the ocean. And you see how I'm just kind of tipping my brush different directions? Oops, let's pull that back a little. You see? So I've got it going all different directions because that's what the water would look like as it's rolling in. Now I'm going to do my second line, but on my second line, I'm going to make my curve different, almost like doing offset on something else, okay? Pull that right in frame, and then I'll start with it, okay? So just dipping the brush into the water, laying it on its side on my paper towel. It sucks the water out. Then I flip it over, and then I'm going to start pulling this wave. And I don't want to break the edge. I don't want to break the seam, that nice rounded rolled over edge. So this is how I would make beach waves. And if I got too much icing, just wipe it off on the paper towel. Okay, so you see already, you know how to do something for summer that's a brush embroidery technique, but you're making ocean waves. You okay? You guys see that okay? All right, let's come down a little bit. I'm going to switch brushes, but right here in this part, you see how to layer it. You can see the very fine details you get. Here, you can see how to make those waves crash. So like on this side, I would ice it and do a couple of shades. Let me go back out because it's a little easier to show you this way. If it were a round cookie, I'd be like right in this area. I'd do a light turquoise, a medium turquoise, a dark turquoise, and then kind of blend those colors. And then on this side, if this was my circle, I would make that sand. So I'd probably like ice it and then dip it in graham crackers or whatever I'm using for my beach sand. You could even do it in tan icing. So this is just a 1/4 inch flat brush. There's nothing fancy about this. It's 1/4 inch across. It's stiff bristles. Now I want to show you the same brush though. If you turn it on its side and use it, I want you to see what that looks like. But for that to look right, you really need to do scallops. So let's start here and just run some scallops because I want that nice edge. And guys, I'm not doing a particular cookie today. If you're joining us late, I'm just showing you some different ways to use brush embroidery because there were some questions after my eighth dress that I did in the demo for frosting creators. So this is not my favorite thing to do because it takes a lot of time. But I usually start in the middle if my brush is on the side. And generally I do this when I want it to be thicker so that I keep pulling that one scallop's worth of icing over it. For me, I find that doing it this way looks more like the edging where it has all that stitching around it, like Battenberg. Is it Battenberg lace? I think that's, I didn't look it up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It looks, when you do it like this and you're doing the scallop and you're starting center and then side to side, it almost looks like where the edging is sewn around that hand done lace. I also pick up a ton more icing this way, which I don't like. I don't like its time. Every time you touch your brush or your scribe to something, it's taking time. So if you cookie for profit or volume, this is not going to end up being one of your favorite things to do. But look at it. It's beautiful. It's going to be a great technique to know if you're competing or you want to do feature cookies. And since we try to do a little bit of everything in the group, I just think it's worth you guys seeing it. So that's with the scalloped edge, this brush on its side, not my favorite thing. Just telling you straight up, not my favorite. All right, so let's do some more scallops and let's use the roughed up rounded tip, okay? And I'm going to do some layers. I'm going to come around like this as if I were doing a dress so you can see what it looks like, okay? And then I'm going to switch to the stiff bristle Wilton brush. And I'm dabbing it in the water so it's wet and then letting the moisture come off. I'm rolling the brush over. And then on this, I just literally start like that, pull in because I want full coverage. I do middle, I do the two sides. If the brush gets too dry, just pick up some more water. Middle, two sides. Usually when I'm doing this, I'm not worried about needing this particular one and this brush in particular. I'm not worried about seeing all the little line detail that I have up here. You see this, right? And the line detail from the waves. I'm not really worried about that. Also, I should mention this, I typically do over top of the lightest shade of turquoise when I'm doing the beach waves. All right, and then you can play with it a little bit more. So if you want more line detail, you can get it. But when I'm doing this, normally it's for like dresses. And so then I offset my second row of scallops. So I'm going higher up where the scallops have a point from the last round. And again, just pretend this is on a dress. That's why I'm doing it curved. And then I just center, side, side, center, side, side. I didn't do that side because it didn't need it. So center, you can, these are so close together as you're going up the dress, you might not need the sides. You might just need to do the center draw. Okay, let's do one more row so you can see it, because when it's building up, it's beautiful. And if you do any wedding dress cookies, this is beautiful for the bottom of the lace before you start the skirt of your wedding dress. Just a great way to do it. All right, so this is still this brush, you guys. Now, your scallops are going to be getting smaller as you come up the dress. It just seems to happen naturally because of space. So as you go further up, you can just grab the middle and pull in, just pull in at an angle to create the motion. Let me get in there so you can see that. So you see what I mean? So you just start in the center and pull. And if you want those great delicate lines, you've got them. But do you see how none of the outside ridges are broken? So you've got that nice layered look. Beautiful for angel wings too. Just saying, great thing for Christmas. Hit it with some diamond dust. Have some fun. All right, now let's go up one. I'm going to switch brushes. Let me clean this one out. I need it for another cookie in a little bit that I'm working on, so I don't want it to stay stiff and full of icing. So we did this first, this 1/4 inch brush. And we did it again on it. We did the 1/4 inch brush flat like this. We did this on its side just so you could see it. And then we did the roughed up Wilton round tip brush. Now let me just show you what happens when you try to use a brush like this. Also, ahead of time, full disclosure, I don't like this one. This is not my favorite, and I'll show you why. You'll see it in just a second. And then you'll probably be thinking, oh, I don't like that either. But there is a lady from overseas, if I can't remember her name, but if you can find her YouTube videos or her reels on Instagram, this is the brush that she uses, which is why I got one of these. And she just makes it look amazing. It does. It really looks amazing. But I don't typically do a good job with this, although it seems to be working right now. But it's so soft that if your icing consistency is off even the slightest amount, you can't work with this brush. Let me zoom in because for whatever reason, it's working right now. But you see how it looks like seashells? So she was doing a reel and did a demo with this and used this longer. It's longer by half, by a full time. Let me show you. It's normal brushes are about this long right in here. It's double the length and it's very soft. It's a very soft brush, but she did the most beautiful seashell embroidery with it for a whole coastal theme she was doing. It was really very attractive. And it's more like you're painting. This brush to me feels more like I'm painting with the icing rather than trying to get the lines in the icing. Okay, but you should be able to see that. Let me pull that extra bit of water out. It's okay to pull that water out if you see extra water. You don't want to leave it because it'll erode your icing. But do you see how pretty that is? It's pretty when it works, but if your icing's off even a little bit, forget it. So let me show you with the disposable brush because we're coming up on our time limit here. And I'm going to show you again with a scallop. And I'll just show you how much more work this takes, okay? So I'm wetting it. I'm tucking it on the side here. It's stiff, but it's just not very many bristles. So you really have to push down into the icing and then start to pull. And so sometimes it works where you'll get great lines. And then sometimes it just pulls all the icing off the cookie. But it is a way to teach the technique and then give them links to Amazon to pick brushes. You'll see a lot of artists do this with different brushes. They have brushes. They just learned over time what they can get the best patterns and lines with. And so that's what they use. So that will happen for you too as you practice or as you discover what you like to use brush embroidery on. For instance, for me, I thought I would love to use brush embroidery on dresses, but I actually use it more in the summertime on my beach cookies. I have no idea how that happened. It's just, that's what I tend to use it on more. Also, beach cookies are more forgiving than dress cookies, as you can imagine, because you're dealing with surf, right? So you see how pretty it does do a nice job. It just takes a lot more strokes. All right, let's see if there's any questions over here. Oh, not your dog, but oh, well, that's cool. You might get a new family member to stay with you. And April says she's sending pooch prayers. Sally can't tell you. I can't tell you yet. Like, really, I can't tell you, or I would tell you. It would already be out of me. Kathy, I don't know how old the comment is, but let me just show the brushes again. This is the 1/4 inch flat, and we did it flat this way, and we did it this way. This is my Wilton round tip that's roughed up. Wilton round tip not roughed up looks pretty as well. This is about twice the length of the Wilton brush. And it's soft bristles that we did these seashell scallop with. And then this is the disposable brush with the stiff bristles. All right, so these are the ones I demoed and showed you straight and or curved, just so that you could see that there's not just one way to do it. And there's a lot of different uses. So you really should sit down and actually play with it so that you can see what you can accomplish, okay? All right, now let's see. I love brush embroidery too, Sharon, so much. And Sheila Lisbel's saying hello. Do you do more than 2 rows when you do waves? Okay, so sometimes, but it all depends on how big the cookie is. The cookies I normally do for the weddings and stuff, they're usually round 3-inch cookies. So I only need 2 waves. And I do the waves. Okay, so I do my light turquoise layer, a little medium in there, and a dark. And I kind of swirl them together like a wet on wet technique, but it doesn't have to be all 3 colors merging. You can just do a line kind of blend between each of the colors if you want. And then I do the other side of the cookie with like a tan, a very light tan color icing. And then holding the cookie at an angle, then I do my beach sand because I don't want it to come all the way to the brown. And then I let the cookie dry. Then I tap the cookie after it's dry. I tap it to get any extra sand off of there. I have a wide brush like this, or soft bristle brush like this, that I brush off any loose sand. Then I do my beach wave because I want the first edge to be over the sand, and I want the second wave to be over that light turquoise. Then if I have room, sometimes I just come in and rather than do like a 3rd row, a true row label, what I do is this. So I'll do this and I'll do this, and then I'll come back here. Let me do this. Everybody's got a good picture of this, right? You can capture it in the video. So I can go back, take this off and show Lavelle. So on that beach cookie, what I would do is instead of doing another row, I would just come back here and I'd do like wave caps, like where the waves break, right? I'd do something like this. I'm going back to the original brush I was using. And that would be over some colors. Oops, I didn't get enough water out. This would be over colors that are further back because then it all blends together so nicely. Do you see what I mean? So I wouldn't necessarily do a whole 3rd row. I'd come back and do wave caps. Pull that off. I had way too much water in that, you guys. So just like a little ripple, maybe a little further back. But I like mine like that. Like, I don't need it to be, my OCD doesn't bother me that it's not completely uniform, but if yours does, it's okay. But the other reason I like this brush in particular for beach waves is because you see how thin it pulls it, and that's what allows that bottom color to come up through it, and that's what makes it look so natural. I mean, it's just very pretty. And then making sure you don't break that outer ridge is critical for your beach waves. All right, so let's see. I hope that answers most of the questions. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, it's just, you just got to play. Like, but understand, okay? I want to say it like this. There are artists that have done brush embroidery, and they do incredibly exquisite brush embroidery, and they will only do it that way because that is like a signature thing for them, and that's what people know them for. So maybe behind the scenes they play with other brushes, but you're only going to catch them in classes or live or whatever using one particular brush because that's what they got known for. So I'm just saying to you, before you decide what brush embroidery is to you and how you want to do it, try out a bunch of different things because there's lots of ways to use it. That's all I'm saying. I'm just encouraging you to find your path. I always rough up my Wilton brush because this is the one that I use for brush embroidery, and I get better line markings when I do my brush embroidery if my brush is rougher. If I want a very clean looking pull and not a lot of lines to show, then I use the brush that I have that's not roughed up. But that is why I rough it up. You're welcome. The number, okay, now this brush, I'm not endorsing any particular brushes, just so you know, okay? I'm not an infomercial for the paint brushes. This is just a brush that came in a kit from somebody else that someone sent me. It's a Royal and Lang nickel. Really, now when I do this in classes, I just order a 1/4 inch flat brush with a straight cut across it. I don't get a brand, but it's a number 6 for those of you who this means something to. Okay, it's a number 6. But you don't have to have that. Seriously, the bulk packs I order for classes off Amazon, it's like $25 for 50 some brushes, and they work equally as well. And then I can throw them out and I don't feel guilty. Hello, June. How are you? All right, so that is our demo for brush embroidery. If you can, I know it's Wednesday, but if you can and you want to know, or you can watch the replay too, but if you have time, I think Jean would really enjoy being able to talk with you guys in person or, you know, virtually, of course. She'll be on with me tonight at 7, and we're going to talk about Team USA, the Milan competition, and what's going to be happening for June 10th and June 11th and how to sign up for it and all of that. Okay. All right. Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope I helped somebody today. Off to therapy. All right. Well, you had your cookie therapy, so now you got to go do physical therapy, Camille. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off. I'll catch up with you later. If you do have questions, you can post them underneath the videos on Facebook or YouTube. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I also, in the earlier part of the video, in case you joined us late, I answered the question about how many sets of Cookie Snack Attack Cookie Education System skill building cards are actually out there for 2023, and where you could pick up your free set if you participated in Frosting Creators of San Antonio. Hope all of you have a fabulous afternoon, and I will see you at 7 tonight. Thanks so much for being here today. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for any donations. My phone's kind of beeping, so I think maybe some of you are picking up the cards and doing donations. I appreciate it so much. And I can't wait to share my big news with you, but I can't do it yet. I'll see you guys later. Have a great afternoon.